The big news of the week, of course, is Elon Musk trying to buy all of Twitter, and he's pursued that in large part by using, ironically, Twitter itself. Well, it turns out that it's not the first time that he's at least explored the possibility of buying a company by using Twitter itself. And to turn to somebody who had the experience on the other side of this, we turn now to our colleague, Conrad Quilty Harper. So, Conrad, thanks for being here. You're here with us at Bloomberg now, but you weren't always there, and in your prior company, I guess you had a little bit of exchange with Elon Musk. Tell us about it.
That's right. So I joined Bloomberg about a month ago, and previously I was at science magazine New Scientist, and a couple of years ago it was a normal day in the office, and we'd had some interactions with Elon Musk before. He had previously tweeted us. But one day, I think he got a bit frustrated with our paywall and decided to say, how can I buy New Scientist so I don't have to deal with this paywall anymore? And he tweeted once, and then he tweeted again. And I actually personally wasn't in the office on this day, but my team managed the reaction to it. And it eventually resulted in the CEO of New Scientist, Nina Wright, talking to my team member about how to respond to this Elon Musk offer. So it was quite an eventful day, and just with Elon Musk's offers to buy Twitter, it sparked a bit of a memory of that day. So I wrote up a little piece for Bloomberg.com last weekend.
So, Conrad, if you can, describe the reaction, the emotional reaction, as it were, of the team. If you're on a spectrum from fear to excitement, where did the team fall?
Well, my colleague who I got in touch with when this news broke said that it was a triggering experience, and I think she meant that in a tongue-in-cheek way. But, you know, what happens when the world's richest man tweets you at your workplace at a relatively small science magazine? I mean, imagine how that would feel. We had about 80 staff, and someone with nearly 80 million followers was tweeting us saying, can we buy you? And the funny thing that Elon Musk didn't know at the time was we were owned by a private equity company who was trying to sell New Scientist. So that added a little bit of excitement to the experience. So I imagine this was sort of raised up to the private equity owners, but the management was certainly scrambling to come up with the exact right response to Elon Musk in case he actually followed through with this offer.
So my understanding is he said, how much would it cost? Did you ever give him a price? What was your response?
I think so I didn't respond. So we had I think there was a bit of a discussion about how exactly to respond. And obviously it's Twitter, so how seriously do you take this? You know, people don't normally offer to buy a company using a social media platform. So I think there was some debate down to the correct use of emoji that we should use in reply. So I think it only went as far as writing a tweet in reply saying, maybe we could look into that for you with a winky emoji. And then he replied a couple more times, but then I think he lost interest. So it was a bit of a damp squib in the end. And I wonder whether that does offer a message for what's going on at the moment, how much of what he's saying is serious in terms of, you know, it's quite a different thing to raise $40 billion versus what New Scientist eventually sold for, which was about $90 million. So it's hard to figure out how you should respond to this man, regardless of the size of the business you're working at. So
as you say, you have written a sort of an advisory note for Bloomberg, sort of giving advice to Twitter or anybody else for that matter that Elon Musk might, by way of Twitter, express interest in buying. So what are the main points of advice you'd have for Twitter or for others?
I think my main bit of advice is to actually trust your social media team. They are sitting in front of, you know, an audience of millions of people, and at any moment, someone like Elon Musk can jump into your feed and suddenly you become the main character of Twitter. And I think every business should really care about who is manning or which person is sitting in front of the Twitter account. That's probably my most important sort of lesson for this experience. It's also, you know, taking a step back. If you're a CEO of a business in the 21st century, you should be on Twitter. You should know how to use it. You should even if you're not dancing on TikTok, you should know why that is important. I think those are the sort of two key takeaways for this experience.
And how do you get the balance right between taking it seriously but also keeping a sense of humor?
Well, I mean, Elon Musk is pushing the boundaries of sense of humor. I mean, in the piece I described him as a meme lord. You know, and it's not something that he also, so he's a meme lord, but he has a team who actually help him with that. So they help him come up with the best memes to create the most funny activity on Twitter. And he actually hired someone in the UK who created a very popular meme about a particular sheep, which he called an absolute unit. And Elon Musk paid for this guy to come to San Francisco. So, you know, you have to take the medium of humor seriously, I think, in this kind of ball game.